Good morning. This is the third DY podcast. Today, rather than talking to the other four people in this class that have specific concentrations with videos, we're talking to Guy Cherenfont, who, while he doesn't have a concentration for making videos, he's still a student that shows off the DY advantage because he is the assistant coach for the DY basketball team. Is that
Yep,
correct,
that
Guy?
is correct.
Well, over the past couple weeks, DY basketball has been having a couple good games, and we decided that since DY is in a position that they haven't been in over 10 years, we would discuss that with our very own Guy. So, Guy, first of all, what exactly do you do for the DY basketball team?
Well, for the DY basketball team, I help out during practice and during game days. I videotape the game so we can prepare for next games by video analyzing the players and making sure that they learn from what their mistakes were in the last games.
And how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for about 3 years now, 2 years for Mr. Chuck Kipnis.
And who is Mr. Chuck Kitness?
Chuck Kipnis is the varsity head coach here.
And so before him, did you do it for the junior varsity team?
No, I did it for Adam Rose, who was the coach before Mr. Kipnis, but he left to go to Harwich.
Ah, now, before you did any of this, did you ever play ball for the school? You ever strap on those sneakers, go put your points on the board?
I played last year. I played a minute and 30 seconds.
You played
Got
a,
it. Got two steals.
you played a minute and 30 seconds. Why was that?
I don't know. I don't know. My playing days are behind me. I like the bench role now.
You retired? You ain't about that life
Yeah,
anymore?
I retired. Put the shoes up. Jersey's hanging on the wall.
Alright. The first game we're going to talk about was February 20th, and it was the game against Barnstable, which is our school's rivals. And so how do you think the game went, Guy?
The game went terrific, I think, because this was it was somewhat of a revenge game because we went up into Barnstable and we were leading the whole time, and then they just came back and beat us in overtime. And then it was terrible. The team took it bad. But since that loss, we went undefeated, and then they came back to our house, and it was time to prove ourselves to them. And we came out and we proved ourselves pretty well.
So there's nothing about that game that you'd like to change.
That I'd like to change? No, it went perfect, executed perfectly.
So if you think it went perfectly, was there any point throughout the game that you were nervous at all? Any point where you thought that, oh, they might come back, we might blow this?
Well, I remember you were sitting next to me at the game, and then I go, we're up 10 points with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and I go, I'm kind of nervous still. I'm not 100% sure that this game's locked up because Jason Eddy was still in the game before he got fouled out, and they were only 10 points down, and 10 points is not that much to come off by. So once he got fouled out, it was locked and sealed. That was our game.
So if at a 10-point lead you're uncomfortable, what is a comfortable lead for you?
There was really no comfortable lead in basketball because you could come out with a 20-point lead and then you don't play very well, and then the other team is on point, hitting shots, and then next thing you know, you're tied or they passed you. So there is really no comfortable lead.
Hmm. So basically, I took notes over the course of the basketball game, as you saw me tapping away on my iPod. And this was actually the first DY basketball game I went to. It was actually pretty fun. But so from the notes I took at the end of the first entire half, after the first and second period, DY was up 34 to 26. That too narrow of a lead too, or did you think the game was going to get at that
34,
point?
26. It's only an 8-point lead. Anything can happen.
Anything could happen.
Yep.
Well, also, in the third period, there was about 30 seconds left, and Barnstable gets two free throw attempts within like 5 seconds of each other. What did you think about that? Because about 25 seconds later, the same exact thing happens to DY.
It depends. It all depends on the lead. Both those attempts were probably by Jason Eddy. So there, he was on fire. Was this the third quarter you said?
Yeah, this is the
Third
third
quarter?
period.
Yeah, third quarter. Third quarter he went off, and the team was like we were rallying, and then he was just going off. He was a one man player, one man team. I mean, and he was just going off. But then, like I said, he fouled out. I believe in the third quarter, early fourth, and that was it.
And Jason Eddy plays for Barnstable.
Yes.
Well, at the end of the third period, after those two free throws, we were up 56 to 43. And judging by your reaction to that, you still think that's too narrow of a lead.
It is. I'm telling you, Will. The game of basketball changes so quickly. You can snap your fingers and the game has changed. Because leads don't really matter. It's how you come out. Like we could go into halftime with a 20-point lead, and the other team, like you feel comfortable, so you start to play relaxed, and then the other team comes out like hot because they feel like they shouldn't be down, and they come into your house or they're at their house and they just hit every shot that they take.
So what you're saying is you should never let your guard down in basketball.
Never. Same way that you went into the game, same way you should finish it, no matter how comfortable you are.
Now, at the end of the game, it was 82 to 64. We won that game, obviously. Now, the moment we broke 80 points and they were still at 64 was, first of all, the teams often hit 80 points or break 80 points.
No, I think we only broke 80 points 3 times this whole season. We beat Sturgis 90 points 2 times that we played them. And then this one was just, I don't know, it never happened.
So when we broke 80 points, did it get rid of all of your nervousness and trepidation towards the game?
Yeah, I think it did. Like I said, like when he Jason fouled out and like it was, I think we were up like maybe 70, 50 something, and then just DY just started adding points on. And this is one of those wins I've never seen happen of all my career, like of all my school life. I've never seen any basketball team that I've been on, the DY or middle school, ever beat Barnstable this bad.
Wow. So basically, you guys made history 2 days in a row because after this game, that put you to the ACL or ACL, right?
Yes, ACL.
To the ACL championship. And how long has it been since DY has been at that?
DY hasn't won an ACL championship in 10 years.
Wow. So I'll take it they won the ACL championship because there was another game after that. But talking about the ACL championship, who did they play?
We played sandwich at the Barnstable Rec Center.
And I didn't go to that game because I didn't even know what was happening until the day after. But how did that game go?
Well, we started off the game hot. It was sandwiches senior night, so the fans, sandwiches, family members were there to rally their players, and then the players didn't come out so well. We ended up leading them, I believe, by 20 points going into halftime, and then after halftime, we got too comfortable. Like I said, leads can evaporate real quickly, and then sandwiches started blowing past us and making shots, and draining threes, and going to the hoop. And next thing you know, games are tied, and then they hit another three, and then they were leading, and they were leading by two, and then Jim Terrell came out of nowhere for us, grabbed a couple boards, and hit a game-winning, no, I believe yes, a game-winning layup. Why Sandwich had 8.3 seconds left to win the game, and they run it down the court, and then we're playing hard man, and then Jamari comes up to guard Joey Downs, who is the point guard for Sandwich, and he leaves this man wide open under the basket, and they pass him the ball, and he misses the layup. As it goes up, it rolls right out of the rim, and we win by 2 points.
Wow. That sounds like it was probably a very intense game.
It was pretty intense.
So you said you guys won by the DY team won by 2 points.
Two
Can you
points.
remember the final score?
Final score. I want to say it was, I think, 58-56.
Wow, so that really was a close game.
Yeah.
Do you think that DY played as well as they did when they played Barnstable? Or do you think that there was more errors in this game or more room for change or improvement?
Well, when you go in to face a team, you take that team differently. Like going to Barnstable, everyone was on point because they were like, these guys beat us, and we had to come out here and play our A game. We played Sandwich before, but There was nothing. We beat them by like 20. So when we played them again, we didn't have that much respect for them. So it was like, all right, well, we're just gonna beat them again, so we're comfortable with it. But proved it came almost to bite us back because if you get comfortable with somebody and disrespect them, they can actually come back and almost beat you.
So the ACL championship. This was like, what is it? Is it like the playoffs, like a bigger state championship, or
No, it's the league championship,
okay? Well,
the division that we're in, because we play in a division of 8 schools. It is us, Sandwich, Plymouth South, Plymouth North, Nauset, I said Sandwich, Marshfield, and Falmouth.
okay. So the ACL championship was the just that division,
Yeah, just
and
that division.
after the ACL championship, DY went and played another game. What was that game for? Was that like for the playoff for a bigger state championship, or as
No,
you can tell, I don't know basketball at all. So
no. Well, I'm pretty sure we played. We were getting ready for it was Milton next. Yeah, I'm saying I think after that it was Milton because we took our week off and then we came to Thursday prepared to go.
moving on to the Milton game, that was February 28th. That was an intense game.
It
It
was
was
pretty
at
intense.
DY, and yeah, it was a very close game throughout the entire thing. So it was after the ACL championship,
Yes.
and it was the first game after that. DY played Milton, and we unfortunately lost.
Yeah, this is the first time we've ever played Milton, and it was our first playoff game in about 2
10 years.
years. No, it was
Oh,
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
What do you think went wrong in the game?
The first half went wrong because we came out. We had got ourselves so hyped up before the game, and our fans were coming up, and that we were ready for it. But the first minute or so, we were in there, and then after that, it just started to drop off because we ended up getting ourselves in an 11-point hole by halftime,
Yep, 20-31.
20 to 31. But I believe Coach Kipnis was talking about we were honestly down by maybe four before maybe 2 minutes or a minute left in the halftime. So they just came back. They just started hitting their shots, and we created that hole for ourselves in the halftime. So going to halftime, all of us were kind of like, what's going on? We should be beating these guys, and we're down 31-20 at halftime.
Now, after halftime, after that 11-point gap that we were in, DY came out and they were on fire and they were just hitting shot after shot, and for like almost the entire rest of the game, it was a 2-point game. But what do you think about that?
It was crazy because I remember coming out of halftime at the lower locker room feeling like, ah man, like this could be it. Like it's over. It's over. Like my heart didn't feel in it, and I was sitting down videotaping, and then these kids just lit a fire, and it was just like they went off. Jim and Jamar just went off, grabbing boards and putting them back up, and it burned the fire in me. Like my heart was going again, and then I stood up and I like was beating my chest. These guys were going out here, and then we tied the game. Like they hadn't scored a point, and then we came out here like on an 11-0 deficit, and we tied it up with them.
So during the halftime, before they got this fire into them that just kicked into high gear, did you give them like an inspirational speech in the locker room?
No, it wasn't me. Usually that's Kip's job. It's his team, so he makes all those decisions. I just sat back and listened to the great man coach his team. He said that we shouldn't be down, and then that we should play more man-on-man defense, and that these guys weren't that much better than us. So we locked up, and then we just came out on fire.
So Coach Kipnis
Yes.
give the speech at the halftime in
Yes.
the locker room. But you all, from the two games that I saw, you always seem to give a speech right before the game. They all circle up around you and get a little war chant going. You just yelling at them, trying to get them pumped up.
Yeah.
Do you do that before every game? Is that one of your?
No, it was just for Barnstable. I just wanted to try something new. I wanted to rally them up, so I was like, all right, this is Barnstable game. We've got to get the guys fired up for something. So I was like, all right, let's circle the boys up. I was telling Jamari that, and then we circled them up, and then we just got real loud and hectic into it. So then I was like, maybe we should do it again one more time for the Milton game, and then we did. We got them real rallied up, and they came out hot, but then we cooled down.
Well, my theory is that your little pre-game war speeches really do help because you crushed Barnstable and then the entire Milton game was close in the second half.
It was.
So you should probably start doing that like next year. Oh wait, no, you're a senior.
Yeah, next year's senior. But don't worry, I might come back next year.
Come back every game and just do that.
I don't know about every game, but a couple of the big ones.
So you got these like pre-game speeches and all that, but there's also a lot of little superstitious things that I've noticed that go on during these games. Like when say Jamari is taking a free throw, everybody would put their hands in the air and wiggle their fingers. Or like everyone wore white for this game against Milton. What's up with all of these? What is up with all of these like little rituals that people do? Are they supposed to be for good luck or?
Well, at games, like you said, this was like your first. These were your first games. At every basketball game, I don't know why they do it, but fans do put up their hands and start wiggling their fingers for like good luck, so that their players will drain their shots, and the opposite team will holler and shout so that he misses.
Yeah.
And then the white was just a whiteout day. Everyone was like, all right, let's get one main color together so that we can support our team.
Yeah, I noticed that Milton did it too. Everybody from Milton wore red.
Yeah.
So, getting back to the game, we unfortunately lost. The final score was 67 to 69. So it was just a 2-point loss, and that was a tough game.
It was a very tough game.
Do you regret anything in the way our players played or didn't play, or do you think they just played their hardest but just got beat anyway?
Thinking about that game to this very day, there is so many ways that game could have changed. There's free throws. If this and that player stayed in longer, if we had guarded that man so that he hadn't hit those threes, or I don't know, more rebounds. It goes anyway. There's so many different things that could have changed, but the basketball gods had it written differently in the book.
Either way, like you said, it's the first time they've been in the playoffs in 2 years, and it was the first time they won the ACL championship in 10 years. So, you brought the team to historic victories, no matter what.
Well, it wasn't me who brought him to historic victories.
We'll just say
I
it
was
was
just part
you.
of that. Nah, everything. It goes all to Coach Kipnis because he brought us all together. We became a family, and that was the whole thing going into the season, that we were a family and that we were prepared to compete to take it.
So, do you think you'll quite obviously going to college next year?
Yes.
Do you think you'll come back for any of the DY games, see any of your old friends, old players just putting points on the board, taking it to the hoop?
Well, like I said, those guys are my family, and I expect to be back a couple of games. It may be a 2-hour drive, an hour and 30-minute drive, but I will come back and support my friends because those are my brothers.
You will get on a plane and come back to Cape Cod.
Well, that I don't know about all that. On maybe on my vacations, I will come back and support them, but I have to come back. This is my family. Like me, Jamari, and Jim and Dan will not be here because we're graduating, but the guys who were on this team that are coming back next year, I will come back and we will support them so that they may win another ACL championship and who knows, win a playoff game and go a little bit farther.
Well, all I have to say is good luck to the team next year, and the team this year played great. From the 2 games that I saw, they seem to be a very solid team, and I'll probably go to more basketball games next year.
All right, I hope you do because they do get intense. I hope that the fans go out too because we started off the season with like no fans, and then the fans gathered and became the real fans that we needed.
Yeah, there were a couple crazy and hectic moments of just the team's fans just going back and forth, where like Milton would chant and DY would chant, and then Milton would chant something and just go back and forth. It was almost like there was another game going on between the fans, not just the players.
It's the intensity in the air. You can feel it. I remember going into the game. You can literally feel the intensity before the game even started. How like you could. Like, I was shaking. It was just like, oh, it's gonna be a good game.
Was that before both games or just the Milton one?
It's just, I had a different feel for the Barnstable game, but the Milton game, it has like that college feel to it because if you've ever watched a college basketball game,
I
the
haven't.
fans the fans do go at it, and it's just that feel in the air.
Yeah. Uh, I remember, like, I think 5 minutes into the first period. Are they periods or quarters, by the way?
Quarters.
Quarters, okay. I apologize, found it dumb to this entire thing. I don't watch basketball. Uh, like 5 minutes into the first quarter, somebody right behind me on the DY side, like Milton hit a free throw, and then Jamari instantly got one, and everybody around me was just like, "Wow, this is gonna be an intense game," and it was. It was just amazing.
It didn't let up. It just kept on going.
But like I said, unfortunately we lost. But
Yeah, like I said, basketball gods didn't have it for us this game, so I don't know.
well, maybe next year.
Hopefully next year.
Well, it's just about time for us to wrap up. So thank you, Guy, for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on the podcast. We appreciate you talking to us, your insight into basketball.
I thank you for letting me be on your show, and
It was an honor
thank
to
you.
have you, Guy.
Thank you.
So we're gonna sign off right now, but keep Guy, you're doing a promo for the basketball team, correct?
I am. I'm wrapping up a project with the boys. It's kind of hard to watch knowing how your season's over, but it's funny. I like watching the boys talk about their season.
Well, look for that, and you can see all of the amazing, amazing DY players who just went hard in both games. Talking and being funny. Uh, but right about now, we need to sign off. So, thanks for listening. Keep checking back at DY Media One on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter for any updating videos that we've put out, whether it be this, another podcast, or Guy's video promo. Uh, have a nice day. Bye, Guy.
See ya.